I think this movie was more political than entertaining.
No, I'm sure you're used to it by now, but what's it feel like to die?
Even on my 17th go around, I hate dying.
Alright, so Mickey 17 is directed by Bong Joon-ho, and it stars Robert Pattinson and Steven Yeun and Michael Monroe. And so, but primarily it follows the character of Robert Pattinson. And I think before I get into the plot, this movie itself felt a lot more political than sci-fi. This is supposed to be a sci-fi film about a guy who signs up to become an expendable, and this is in the future. The humans have developed this type of technology where a person can continuously die, and they can remake their body and input their memories and data all back into that body, so then that person can be reborn again. And it's an interesting concept for a sci-fi movie, and I thought as a sci-fi movie it was pretty cool. However, there was a lot of subliminal things that were placed throughout this movie that constantly took my mind away from the sci-fi aspect of it, from the entertaining aspect of it, and it made me continuously think about real life, when I think it does the exact opposite of what movies are supposed to be, or are supposed to be made for. They're supposed to be like, originally movies were made to be an escape of realism, an escape of reality, for people to go and just experience something and kind of just not think about real life, and just kind of enjoy a film, enjoy a story, enjoy something that makes them feel good. And yes, I know that some movies are like the art. Sometimes art wants you to put more focus on certain things, and they use their art to make people open up their eyes about things that are happening in real life. However, I don't think this movie was the correct movie to really try to be political in this case. Yeah, but this is why I don't really like to talk about politics with movies in general, like just by the movie itself. Like the movie is about, I don't know, like aliens or whatever, and but there's like a subliminal message that what the aliens represent in real life. I'm not always like trying to focus on that message. I just kind of like to enjoy the movie just based off of what they are doing in the story. Like, this is what happens to them, this is what happens to them in the story. And yes, I'm not going to bypass and not look at what this means in real life, but I just don't think that all movies should be used for political views. So as far as the plot of this film, it follows Mickey and his friend Timo. In the very beginning, they get into some type of situation with some other character, and it causes them to just take desperate measures, and then that's what leads Mickey to going down this route. Also, Timo is played by, what's his name? Steven Yeun is like, I didn't know who he was, but I recognized him by his voice, because I know he's been in The Walking Dead, but I never watched The Walking Dead growing up. It wasn't really that like noticeable for me as far as his face, but then as soon as he said the F word, I knew exactly who he was. I was like, wait a minute, that's Mark. That's Mark from Invincible. So like, I knew who he was just from his voice and just from that F-bomb. And I thought that was pretty funny. But anyway, him and Mickey, his character and Mickey, were in some type of situation with like a gangster lord, and they were just trying to escape him. And so that's kind of what led Mickey into taking on this expendable job, which he had no idea what type of job that was when he took it. And basically the job is about him signing up to die in order to help the human race discover new things. They implant his memories and all of his experiences back into this new body that they have, this technology where they're able to create human bodies again and implant all of their memories in them so they can still be the same person. And yeah, so that he signed up to be that test dummy basically. So like anytime when they're traveling through space, they use him to go experience new things. So like, oh, can you go outside and take off your mask and see if the air is safe for us to breathe? And so like, he has to be the one to do that because he's an expendable, and they're just going to be able to reprogram him and remake him again anyway. And so it's an efficient way for humans to test and like in this story, but in a way it kind of takes away, like it toys with the idea of death in this movie, and it takes away from the importance of life. And you can tell throughout the whole movie, like the way these people treat him, they're like, oh, you're just gonna come back anyway, like, oh, it's okay, like we can leave him here, he can die right here, like it's kind of crazy and sadistic at the same time, and it makes sense because their leader is super like just evil, like and he plays it really well, and that character is played by Mark Ruffalo, and his character in a way reminds me very much somebody that the entire country will understand who they're trying to reference. But like I thought it was really funny, and that's another like example of them trying to put in some type of political like aspect into the movie. But I thought his character was really, like, Mark Ruffalo played the villain of this story really well, and he really sold the character for me. I was just like, man, like I didn't know he was good of an actor. I knew he was good, but I didn't know he was that good, because like some things that he did in this movie, I was just like, wow, like I didn't know he could bring that out of him as an actor. But yeah, other than that, like it was, the story as a whole was like really interesting, the sci-fi aspect of it, and I enjoyed that much. I enjoyed that much of the movie. In summary though, I think the movie overall was like a good 6.5 out of 10. I personally like the sci-fi stuff, but I often got taken away from the sci-fi stuff because of the political things that they were putting in the movie. And I thought that was okay because it was embedded into the plot really strategically and really well. However, sometimes I just would like to go to a movie and not, have to think about the real world at the same time. I would just like to experience these characters and what they're doing, how they're going to solve their problem. I don't really always want to think about, oh, this is directly parallel to what we're experiencing in real life. I sometimes just want a good escape. But I'm also not saying that we don't need to have movies like that. Like, this movie is definitely needed, and any other movie that wants to point a spotlight on the things that are happening in real life is definitely needed. However, sometimes me personally, I'm just like, okay, I just want to kind of focus on some character that I just met in this movie, and I kind of just want to like experience their story and not have to think too much about my own story that's happening right now in real life. But that's just me. Some other people might have different opinions. Overall though, I think this movie was really fun, really entertaining, and I would recommend any sci-fi lovers to go watch it. And just because it's a fun sci-fi movie, is it the best one? No, by no means it's the best sci-fi movie, but it's a good one. That's pretty much it for this review. Like what I talked about, please comment below, drop a like as well, and just let me know that you enjoyed the review. Also, don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when my next video will drop. As always, thank you for tuning in, and my name is Jefferson Coat. I will see you all